Hi there, welcome to CPC Design. I've had a few requests to do some videos and tutorials on Procreate. I'm going to do one today, and it's going to be how to create a brush stamp. So I'm going to start with a new canvas, and the canvas I want is a 2224 by 2224 pixels. So we'll pick that one. Now it has to be square. You don't have to do it square, but if you do a rectangle, for instance, then when you put it into Procreate as a stamp or a brush, it will crop it till it's square, and you may lose some of your shapes or your drawing or whatever your stamp may be. So it's better to start off with a reasonable sized square palette. So this is what we're going to do. Right, anyhow, creating a stamp. Now it really depends on what you want. I'm going to start today with a simple shape just to show you how to do a stamp, and then we're going to show you how to texturize it and do different things with it. So let's start now. I'm just going to let's pick a brush. I'm going to pick a brush from my brushes. I'll go with a thin monoline, that'll do fine. It's just a draw. So I'm going to do a triangle here. Nope, I don't want that. Let's do that again. I want to do it black just now. Right, and let's see, take it down a wee bit. So I'm going to do a triangle. I'll hold it. Well, let me try that again. That was pretty rubbish. So no, still rubbish. This is the only thing about shapes in Procreate. Yeah, that'll do. So we'll get that kind of straight, and then up the top you see edit shape. So we'll hit edit shape, and we'll go triangle, and that gives you a reasonable triangle, or I would say reasonable. Yep, I'll go with that. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a star stamp anyway. So right, so we've did that. What we're going to do now, in fact, I'll just take that down a wee bit, and I'll colour that in just to make it a wee bit smoother. Not brilliant, but don't worry about it. Now, in order to do another triangle, I'm just going to duplicate that. So we duplicate that. That's us get to. Now I can select it and spin it. Right, and if we do uniform here and turn on magnetics, it'll snap. Now I'm going to keep it about there just now, and what I want to do is, in fact, if I do this and select both, and then select it, I can take it down a wee bit, got a bit better. Then I'll go back in and just select the one, select it again, and then we can take that down a bit. I'm saying maybe about there. Not perfect, but that'll do. Right, so anyway, we're going to fill that. Now there's a couple of ways to do this. I'll show you this actually. If you just take this and fill it, oh, wrong one, let me go back, beyond that, yep. So if we do that and fill it, you can see the lines it does here. Now that's pretty disturbing. I don't know why it does that, but a bug somewhere in the program. Well, in order to do that, you would just select the brush again and colour it in, but I prefer to quickly fill it. We'll just do this. Nope, it's not doing it for some reason. Oh, I'll know why it is. Before you do any of this, so let me go back. Before you do any of this, when you've got your two done, merge them down into one. Merge it down so you've only got one, then that way it'll fill properly. Or It'll still have the lines, but you'll fill it properly. In fact, let me just out of that. I'm going to lock the alpha, then that way if I draw in here, yep, it's not letting me for some reason. No, anyway, we'll just fill it. I'll show you what I mean. It's not even going to let me fill it now. Let's turn the alpha off. I'll do that in a minute, but let me just fill here. We'll do it this way. And what I've got to do now, yep, that seems to have filled it a bit better there. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, that's a start, but now we've got one layer. We can select that and we'll size it up, and we'll do it freeform so that we can, freeform, we can do it that way, leave a little space at the sides, kind of even. Yep, that's not perfect, but it will do. And if we warp that, no, just leave it the way it is. Anyway, that's just our stamp. Now, when you're doing a stamp, obviously it should be this square, and you should fit as big as you can inside the square. Then the quality of the stamp will be a bit better. Right, so now that we've did that, we want to, the background should be black or transparent, and the actual shape itself should be white, because black is transparent and white is what you'll see. So what we do here is, there's a couple of ways to do this. What I normally do is I'll just go in and I'll switch off the background layer, right, and then I'll click that and invert it, right, so that's what you want. You want it white and black background or no background. Right, so now we've got that, I'm just going to copy it. Copy. Right, and I'm going to use, I'll do that in a minute. So we've copied it. So let's create a new brush. So if we click the brush, we'll go into stamp tutorial and we'll create a new brush. Now this new brush has got its own settings. It's, as you can see here, it's just a solid brush, and it's up to you to get and change. Now in Procreate 5 you've got this big canvas here to test your brush out. As you can see, you just go up here and you can change the colours, the preview size, and just clear the pad, which we're going to do. So what we want to do now, because we've copied that stamp shape, we want to put it in here as a brush. So you'll go to shape and then you'll edit and import, only you'll paste. Instead of going to the source library, you'll go to paste, and that pastes the one you did in, and you can see it's white with a black background. That's good, that's what you want. So you say done to that, and let's clear the pad, and you can see we've got it here, but it's all together, and you want to change that. So if you go to stroke path and you go to the spacing, and you want to space it so it's just a wee bit of space in between them, right? So now you can see that there. Now you can also see, if I do it lightly, it's slightly transparent, and then it'll go deeper and deeper. All that means is that the pencil, the Apple Pencil, or at least in the brush, it's got the pencil sensitivity. You know, it'll go from, if you do light, it'll go light, and you put heavy or pressure, you know, it's pressure sensitive. Right, well, I don't want that for a stamp. That's alright for a brush, but not for a stamp, for me anyway. So I'll just clear that pad and we'll do another one, and I'll show you what to do. So if you go to the Apple Pencil properties over here and you take the opacity down, you can see on the right hand side here, you see it changing to all the same opacity. That's what I want. So let's try the brush out. let's try the brush out. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into layers here. In this layer I'm going to actually create a new layer, and I'm going to call it rename. I'm just going to call it testing, because this will be testing the brushes. Okay, and that means you can do it all on the one canvas rather than going for different canvases and stuff. Oh, excuse me. So we'll turn that one off, we'll put the background back on, and we'll test the brush on this layer. So we come in here and stamp, stamp, stamp. So if you put it up to its biggest, you'll see it's not that big. I want it to be a bit bigger than that, so I've got the option. And if you put it down to the bottom size, it's practically gone. So that's hard to see. If you look here, you'll see it's about 1%. So we want to change that. So we want to change the size. Right, so let's just clear the layer. Where are we? Clear the layer. Sorry, go back into the brush. I'm actually going to go to about this brush. I'm going to rename the brush, and I'm going to call it Star Stamp. Star Stamp, that'll do, and just hit enter. Done. Right, let me clear the pad. Right, now if we do that, we've got the spacing pretty well. So if we go to stroke path again, turn the streamline up. I like to put that to about 66, and it makes it a bit more streamlined. Although it's only a stamp, you can use it for different things. Right, so the streamline I wanted, but I also wanted the size, you know, to be the maximum size and the minimum size to be a lot bigger. So we go to properties and we say brush behavior, maximum size. I like to put that to about 600, and the minimum size at least 3. Right, so you know it's there, and we're done, and we'll try that out. Right, so we'll go back to the canvas again. You see the minimum size there, at least you can see the star. Right, so if you've got, that's massive. That's the way I wanted it. I want a big one. I want the option of going bigger, you know. So let's take away that and that and that and that, and let's change the colour. We go to a red. So you've got a stamp, or brush. Now the reason you want to keep it brush is for different reasons. So say we want to do a circle, right? You just hold, right, and up the top, edit shape, and go circle. So that's, you got a star circle, and if I select that now, oh, not what I wanted, and go to uniform, I can increase my circle. Right, and that in itself is basically how to do a stamp. That's just a simple shape. There's other things you can do, and I'll do that later on. Now, if you wanted to put a texture in this, you know, that's quite solid. If you wanted to have a texture in it, there's a couple of ways you can do that. Right, you can go right into the brush, click on it, open it up, and if you go to grain, you can see it's just an opaque texture. If you go into edit, import, and go to source library, then it gives you lots of different textures that you can put inside. Right, now this is probably the easiest way to do it. The thing is, you're stuck to whatever's in here. If you have texture brushes or whatever, you can do a different way, but we'll try this first. Let's do a bark. Right, so that's your texture within your, and let's see how that looks. Done. You can see it there. So now we're on grain. We can mess around with that. So movement, say, you know, that'll take you across. See if you get to the best part of the bark. Say you want to, we'll scale it a little, take it down, take it right up. So let's do there. Zoom. You can mess around and to your heart's content, but that's fine. So let's do that. Now if I do it, edit shape, circle, now you can see it's now got a texture, right? And now here's the way you remember how we did it to start with, right? Let me clear that, clear, and I'm going to go into the shape layer that we first created, and I'm going to duplicate it, right? And I'm going to invert that again so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to invert it back, right? So what we want to do now is we've selected that, sorry, we selected it, didn't we? Yeah, right, so this is the layer we're going to work on. So now we'll go into brushes, and if we go to spray paints, there's a few different textures I've got in here. I'm going to use flicks, right, and we'll pick white. Double tap and it'll go white, right? So we've now got white. Now this time I'm going to put alpha lock on. Another way to put alpha lock on is, let me take that off. You can just put two fingers on the layer and swipe, and it'll alpha lock. Exact same thing, different way to do it. Right, so we've got alpha lock on. So let's see what size of brush we've got. That there, right? That'll do fine. It's full opacity. Now we're on black, sorry, on white, so that means it will be showing, and the rest we're going to invert it, so don't worry about it. So do it the way you want it until you get it. Now that's a wee bit thin for me, so I will maybe increase that a bit, that. Right, so if you do that, that's you put your own texture on it. Now you get hundreds and hundreds of different types of texture brushes, so if you do it this way, it gives you a lot more options. You can even create your own textures within Procreate. There's a million things you can do in Procreate. It's just knowing how to do them. So anyway, what we'll do now is we'll invert this. First of all, we'll turn off the background. We'll take off the alpha lock and we'll invert it. Right, so that's it now. What's black's transparent, what's white will show through. So now we'll copy it. So we'll copy it. Right, and then we'll go back to the brush, the one we were working on. Go to tutorial, and it was this one. So we'll click the brush, and instead of having that grain source, we'll go back to the blank, edit, import source library, and we'll just go back to blank. Right, done. Right, now we'll go back to shape. Or did we save that? Apparently not. Let's try again. Import source library. Done. That's it now. Right, so we're back to, let me clear it. We'll go back to the normal everyday, but what we want to do is go into shape this time, and instead of using the blank shape that we first created, edit, this time we import and we paste, and this is the second one we did, so we say done. And as you can see, you see the black background, that will be transparent. Everything black within the star will be transparent. All the white is what you'll show through. Right, so now let me clear the pad. What you can see, as you can see, that there's a wee grain. Let's test that on the testing layer. Right, let's go in here, we'll turn these off just now, and put the background back on. So now when we go in here, do a stamp, oops, white, sorry, let's go black, or let's go a colour, red, right, let's get it all a bit, and now you can see there's a texture in here. Now, hundreds of things you can do. At the moment, let me put it down a bit. At the moment, you've got a kind of star brush. Stamp it once, it's a stamp. Now, there's other things you want to do with this, like for instance for different patterns that you're maybe doing, right? So let's clear the layer. I'm sorry. Right, so for decorating, say, we'll do a square. We'll hold it. It's not very square, is it? And we'll do square. And because that's, let's tap that slightly off. We can put magnetics on. Or off. On, sorry. Maybe not. We want it off. If you do it more square in the first place, it'll be fine. So, you can see that there. Anyway, that's just a little pattern. I'll take it back to 0. Let's make sure it's clear. Yeah, it's absolutely clear. So anyway, so say you want to do a different type of pattern, and because that's only like one at a time, it's just a stamp. If you wanted to change that to an array of stars, what you would do, you go into the brush. Now, say you've got this brush exactly the way you want it, but you want to slightly change it and mess around with it, well, just duplicate the brush. Then that way you can mess around with that and delete it if it doesn't go well for you. So let's go into this one, the stamp one. Right, let me clear. So you've got that there. Streamline could be probably a wee bit more, so it's smoother. Right, so let's clear again. Right, so I'm going to just do that. Now, if you go to jitter and turn the jitter up, it's about 99. Right, and if we go down to, I think it's properties, is it? Dynamics maybe, yep. So the jitter size, what that means is the jitter size is they will, in fact let me show you this, right? The jitter, without the jitter size, you'll be getting like this. But you can see, although they're all over the place the way you want it, so you can do maybe a pattern in different colours. I would actually turn that streamline off. Right, but you can see the stars are all the same size. Alright, if you want them to be varying sizes or variable sizes, go back in to the brush and you see the jitter size. If you look over here on the right hand side, when you're switching this, you'll see there's kind of changing. You get it where you want it. You can also the fall off opacity as well. I'm quite happy with that. So now if we go back into that layer and clear it, clear the layer. Right, so let's put on a wee bit, and this time you're getting a kind of random pattern. Let me do an earthy colour. You hear this tapping, it's me just tapping on the iPad. Change the colour, sorry. Let's go for a blue. Right, you see what I mean? And you can change the brush. If you mess around with it, if you get it pretty much the way you want it, for the job you want it, then make sure when you're messing around with it again, you duplicate it. Then that way, like for instance, I can go in now to the brushes and I can say I can't be bothered with that, I'm just going to delete it, and it delete, and then you've always got the brush, the main brush you started with. So there you have it. That's how to create a stamp and how to put a texture in it, and if you wanted it to be variable and more, then you've also learned how to do that as well. So if you like it, please subscribe, click like, and don't forget to click the bell and you'll get notifications of any other videos I do. I've got quite a few that I'm going to be put up, so I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks very much. Bye bye now.